Hi guys, welcome to ThomTech Tutorials. I am Thomas and this is sessions 14th of Azure Data Factory tutorial 2. So in this session we are going to cover what is for each activity and what are the properties and functionalities of for each activity. So before we jump into the tutorials, friends, do like and subscribe my channel if you have not done so. So with that, let's move on to the tutorials. So for each activity, so this is like one of the very important activity that is used in ADF development. So after metadata activity, for each activity is also used like at many places in the use cases, because in this what we are trying to do is like we are reading the files and we are trying to repeat the processing one by one based on each file coming from the metadata activity. So this activity is also very important. So now let's see like how it works and what all functionalities we have in this for each activity. Let's switch back to Azure Data Factory. Okay, so this is my metadata activity, so which I have covered in the previous step. So if you guys have not seen it, so please go and check out the previous video. Okay, I will put that playlist link in the video below and please do go back and just view that. Okay, so now let's go and search for each activity. This is my for each activity. Okay, and now let's connect my get data metadata activity to the for each activity. Okay, and then click on this, and over here by default we have a name as for each one. Let's change the name to some other name, to some other like meaningful name. So let's suppose read each file, something like that. Okay, and now we have to go to the settings. Description, if you want to put, we can put go to the settings. Then over here you can see we have an option for sequential. Okay, so when we click on sequential, it will pick one file at a time and process it, then it will pick the second file and process it. But if sequential is not selected, then all these files will come together and it will be processed parallelly. Okay, and now you can see we have an option to give the batch as well, like maximum how many parallelism should happen, like 3 4 5 whatever like we want to give. Okay, and this is the property, that is item. So we can select whatever is coming from this, the child items, and we will mark it the same way. Okay, so for the time being, let's say it's sequential. Let's click on this, and now in items let me just click over here and add dynamic content, and then I should go to the output. So if you click on the add dynamic content, it will show the input coming or the output coming from the metadata activity. See, this is the metadata activity, and whatever output is coming, it will show up over here. Okay, so we will select this simply and then type dot child items. So this is the property that we should be using in order to get the file names out of the metadata activity and pass to the for each. So let's type it and then click on OK. Okay, now what is there in the activity, let's see. Okay, so now whatever we are going to put, now let's suppose we have one file in the memory. Okay, and now I want to see like what's happening in that. So let's suppose, let's get into this. Inside this I can do anything, like I can put a copy activity which will read that file name which is there in that iteration. So let's suppose the customer file is coming inside the loop as a first time, as a first iteration. So that customer file name will be read, and we will use that in our copy activity to push that into a landing zone, something like that. Okay, and and I can show you like in a different way. Let's suppose we are now inside, let's see, now we are inside the for each. So I can use the copy activity as well, but I will bring the copy activity in the coming session, otherwise you guys will get confused. So now what I will do, I will simply pick one more metadata activity. This is just for showing the output. Okay, I will select this, show me file name. So just type of like a dummy name I am giving this. Okay, let's click on this, click on the same data set. Okay, parameterization, the folder name will remain same, that is source. Okay, and then file name is going to be in the previous, like outside the loop, what we have given the file name, it was like a star.xlx, because we wanted to get all the files and use the child property to read one by one. Okay, but inside I want to read that specific file which is there in that specific iteration when it is running. So I will click over here inside the for each metadata activity. Over here I will do @item bracket open bracket close dot name. So this property will help me to like fetch the name of that file name which is there in the memory or which is there in that iteration. Okay, so let's expand this. And one more thing, over here let's click on this and give a property. What is a property? Okay, so the property would be, I cannot select a child name because I am directly selecting a file, right? So what I will do, I can use either exist. So if I use exist, it will come as true or false. Okay, or I can use size. Let's select size for now, and then let's go back and trigger this. Let's see whether we have any sort of issue. Parallelly you can go and save it as well. Okay, see, the first activity got executed. Now it's moving to the second activity. Okay, so the second activity also got triggered, and we have 4 files, right? Product, vendor, transaction and customer. So one by one, since we have selected the sequential mode, that is, we have selected a sequential mode, that's why it is executing sequentially. One completed, second completed, third completed, fourth completed. So you can see this, how at what timestamp it got completed. It's not like at the same time it's executed, it's one by one it got executed and completed. So once it's completed, now we don't have any action, it is not moving any file. Okay, we just want to ensure like whatever iteration has happened within the for each, whether it is reading the right name of the file or not. So for that, what you can do, you can click on this. This is the input, this is the input is coming, and over here if you click, it will show you. See, so the first file, whatever file is coming, that is customer, let's suppose customer file is coming. So the size of this file is 8.36 kbi. Okay, so if you go over here, you will find the same thing. Okay, no, sorry, the product data file was the first one, so it came as 8.52. Okay, now let's close this one, let's go to the next one, second one. See, 8723. So over here if you check 8723, somehow it's not coming. 8723, let me just check it once again. 8723, let's cancel this, let's go back. 9602, 9602, 9602. Okay, so this is like a conversion. Okay, so if you download the file and if you check the size now, it's going to give the same size. Okay, so you can relate, this belongs to that, and then we have 8.36. let's cancel this and then click on this. So you can see 8556. So this 8556 will be belonging to most probably this one, 856. Okay, so that's it. And then one more thing, we can check it over here. Let's suppose, so size, this size differences would be because of the unit what is measured over there. So you can see in the data lake it's showing as KIB, and over here it will be like KB might be. Okay, but we can check this one later. But to get more clarity, let's click over here and then go into the property. Where is the property? Let's click on settings and then go to the properties, child properties, this one. Go inside this, go to the metadata activity. Over here we are selecting size, right? Instead of size, let's select item name. Let's see what happens. Let's go back, validate. If you want to validate, click over here, click debug. So after clicking debug, it will execute once again, and instead of the size, it's going to throw out the file name. We just want to ensure that all the four file names are getting outputted or not. Let's see. The for each has started. The first metadata has executed. Let's see. Let's open the first one. See, the first one is customer data. Okay, the second one is like product data, third one is like transaction data, and the last one is still executing. Let's check. Yeah, the last one is the vendor data. See, all of the file has been taken one by one and has been pushed into the metadata as an output. Okay, so that's it. So I think we have covered for each activity. And guys, if you have any doubts or any questions, do let me know, because metadata activity and for each activity is one of the very important activity in the Azure Data Factory. Okay, so I think pretty much we have covered everything for this session, and that's it. And guys, please do like and subscribe my channel, and have a great day ahead. Thank you.